We're building a high cube Wisconsin Central boxcar right now. A month ago, I went to the Arkansas Train and Hobby Show and I picked up this boxcar. I paid under $10 for it and I thought it was a steal of a deal. I wanted to put this together and make a YouTube video of it just so that you guys could see what it's like to put together an LBF kit. This was definitely an older kit. Someone must have had it in their attic or just stored away somewhere. And I say that because the instructions had something on it that was kind of strange. So right out of the box, it looked like it came with 5 sides assembled, a pair of trucks to build, and several sprues of accessories to add on, as well as a top. I'm not sure what these are, but these are some type of weight holders, I believe. I'm not sure, but you can see a little bit later how I actually use these. I don't think I used them the way that they were intended, those to be used. With everything out of the box, I began test fitting the undercarriage to see how it was going to fit and see if there's any modifications I need to make to it. And sure enough, there were some flares that I had to make some small adjustments to make it fit correctly. I took a hobby knife and began gently cutting off the small leftover pieces of flare. Afterwards, I took some 320 sandpaper and lightly sanded the edges to make them smooth. Then I was finally ready to adhere the undercarriage to the bottom of the boxcar. After that was done, I moved on to the accessories, such as, I believe these are braking pieces, maybe some air tanks. After all the air brake components were assembled to the other side of the boxcar frame, I began assembling the coupler and the trucks. Now the trucks reside on top of the coupler box, but they are not one piece. Therefore, I began to assemble the coupler box first. I started with some super glue and then placed the coupler box into the super glue onto the frame. I then took the coupler and placed it into position. I grabbed the coupler top and placed it onto the coupler box. Grabbed the screw that came with the kit and began screwing it down onto the frame. And when I mean frame, I mean the frame of the coupler box. Next, I grabbed the wheel sets and began adding the wheels to the truck frames. After those were together, I simply placed them onto the coupler box and in their appropriate position and began screwing them down. After the pieces were removed from the sprue, I began to glue them into place. This was difficult because of the size of my large fingers, but with a pair of tweezers, it really helped get the job done. And if you're wondering how I got glue onto the pieces, I simply took the nozzle on the CA glue bottle and inserted it over the pins on each part. This allowed a little bit of glue to come out and get on those pins, so that all I had to do was take my tweezers and line the piece up and then push the piece into place. It was that simple. Some of the pieces needed a little help manually. So after I inserted them with the tweezers, I kind of maneuvered them with my hands. Okay, so now the entire car is assembled as much as I can at this point. I still need to install the roof and weigh it down somehow. If you remember at the beginning of this video when I was showing you all of the pieces that came in the kit, well, what was missing out of this kit was the actual weight. After doing some Google research, I learned that most modelers are adding 1 ounce of weight to each boxcar, then adding a ½ ounce of weight per inch of the boxcar. So that means that my boxcar is 7 inches long, and therefore I should have 1 ounce plus 7 ½ ounces. So what does that total? That's right, 4.5. So to get 4.5 in total weight for this boxcar, I had to add some weight. So this boxcar in total is 2.4 ounces. So I simply had to add 2.1 ounces of weight to this boxcar. And if you haven't already realized that I have copperhead BBs in my camera view. So I took those and I began adding those BBs to my medicine bottle until I achieved 4.5 ounces. What I did was simply add 2 pieces of plastic that came with the kit. As you watch me pour these BBs in, you notice they're not going all over the place. They're staying put where I wanted them. But hey, now that we're at 4.5, I wanted to keep the BBs in without adhering them with a bunch of hot glue or super glue. So I decided to take some cheap magic erasers and cut them to fit into those little square boxes. Once I had cut it the right size, I inserted it and it fit quite nicely. I did this to the other side and gave it a quick test. As you can see, nothing came out. Otherwise, I would have a huge mess on my hands should this derail. Since the correct weights were installed, I went ahead and just popped on the boxcar lid. I didn't want to glue this down just yet, just in case something came loose, or if I decided to paint this lid later, I could. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, consider liking and subscribing. It doesn't cost anything and it helps the channel grow. Until next time, happy railroading.